Hey folks! Leafs are on the shelf. Olympic hockey wiped out. World Juniors are progressing. We'll see what happens there. We'll try to make some sense of it right here on the OZone.
You're in the offensive zone, your place for Leafs hockey.
Hey folks, welcome to the OZone. That's Coach, that's KD, and I'm the Devo. And we're here to talk all things Leafs. Tough to talk about a lot of things Leafs. Things are going a little bit weird. I don't know if you guys have heard about this virus. Anyways, games are being postponed. There's a lot of uncertainty out there. We'll get to that. Let's talk about them Leafs and break it down. Break down their fortunes thus far. We're 30 games in. KD, 42 points for them Leafers. That's a 114-point pace. What are the reasons for this solid start? Why don't you try to break it down for us?
Well, like Denny Green way back in the day, they are who we thought they were. I mean, this is a very good, talented team. In the regular season, I couldn't do it justice, but I'll just throw it to it. But they are who we are, who we thought they were. Like, extremely talented. They have world-class talent on this team. They're always going to be fine in the regular season. So, like what got them here, excellent goaltending. They have contributions from defense, good puck-moving defense, good skaters back there. They have 4 to 5 world-class players on forward. Like, they're always going to go this part, like, this is a no-brainer. This was the layup part, and so far it's been the layup part of the season. But, we'll maybe get to some of the things that need to change going forward.
Yeah, Coach, how have they done it so far?
You're right. This has been great, but, what really matters is later. But we're 30 games in. What a terrific start. 3-0-1, and the one just blasted New York. Shesterkin stole that point. And then the sky was falling. Lost 3 in a row, and everyone was, what are we going to do? Not even going to make the playoffs. And I think that was really needed because we're grounded here, right? We know that the thing can get off the rails and we can get it back because we just won 15 of 17 in that really hot streak, but nobody went too crazy because we'd been blown out before that streak. Everyone was nervous. We're 3-3 since that streak's over. So that's pretty good. I mean, Kev, you mentioned it. Campbell and Matthews, they've been our best players. Matthews, 33 points. He's scoring at the best point-per-game clip he's had in his career. Campbell's 15-5. Great stats. League-leading stats. Yeah. And, the other 3 guys have been great, too. Nylander, Tavares, Morgan Riley. Tremendous stats. But two things, I think, that aren't the stars that have really contributed. Timothy Liljegren coming in, he's been really solid for half a dozen games, and he's helped mitigate the really slow start that Muzzin and especially Hall have had. He's brought some stability, which you never would have seen. He was the 7th guy to start the year. So that's terrific. And then Joseph Woll coming in, he's, by all accounts, the 4th-string guy, and he comes and goes 3-1 with a shutout. It actually speaks to the Leafs' goaltending depth. It's as deep as it's been since I've been a fan for 53 years. I hope the guy never plays again because I hope Mrazek is solid.
Yeah.
But that was a good sign, too. So, all things pointing in the right direction.
Obviously, things changed after that start. Going 12-2 in November, that sure helped. Gotta love the way they won a lot of the games this year, too. 5 versus 5 production, huge. Their power play's been pretty solid all year long. The penalty kill has been solid. Their goaltending has been great. They've scored some ugly goals, which, quite frankly, was a problem last year. They weren't able to do it. So the Leafs are finding a number of ways to win. They've won some 2-1 games. They've won some 3-0 games. They've won some 6-4 games. They're finding ways to win in all different ways, and that speaks to their maturity, I think, overall. The addition of Kampf, Case, and Bunting has been obviously a boon for the Leafs. Bargain basement hunting, and it's paid off. The brass deserves a heck of a lot of credit for that. What could you or would you change, if you could, about this season? What warts continue to show up in the Leafs game that bog this team down? Coach, what do you think?
Well, I tell you what I would change. I would change not having gone out and spent about $1,400 on Christmas gifts in the last half hour. That wasn't good. So I thought I'd drink a little. Our shutdown pair. Last year, we were everyone was talking. Our Hall and Muzzin, the best Leafs D pair. They were tremendous. And it allowed,
and they were,
and
they were.
Brody and Riley could play their game. You could hide guys in the third pair. The D was really solid last year. Well, this year, I think we've answered that question. No, they're not our best pair. In fact, they've had to be split up. This picture is symptomatic of it. One dog looking east, one dog looking west, like in Goodfellas. Like they're not on the same page. They're not great. So I think the D needs to be addressed. Either these guys take this break and get it, like Hall gets healthy, or you got to do something at the trade deadline, because we're not really in it now for the regular season. We're pretty solid. We're in it for April and May.
Yeah, and April and May might be a bridge too far to ask those young Swedes to step up and play big minutes. So, look, Kev, if you can fix one problem, what would it be, KD?
Well, I've talked about it before and ad nauseum about getting the team ready to be playoff teams. Like when you watch that special on where was it, Amazon or whatever last year, you sort of got the sense that they actually were tuning Keefe out. You know, like they were winning the way they were winning. It was great to play in this Canadian division, but it was a kind of a weak division the whole year. They played the same teams. They didn't have adversity during the season. They never had a really, like Montreal didn't play well till the playoffs, and the other teams played soft and wide open. So they never really got to play those teams like Minnesota and Columbus that get on you and suck the middle away. So I think this learning how to adapt to different teams that play heavy down low, teams that play the trap, teams that clog their own zone up. They look to me. They look like they're preparing for it. Like Matthews is down there more. The teams are down. They're scoring goals on rebounds. They're getting the pucks back to the net. They're kind of playing simple at times. So they seem to be taking away sort of the intricacies of Scott at individual players. As a team, they seem to be building towards what they need to do to beat teams out in the playoffs. But they need more of it. We talked about the one game against Anaheim where they didn't adapt until halfway through the game. If Anaheim had scored once or twice in the first period, they might have lost that game. So they adapted to it and were great the second half of the game, but it took them 30 minutes to get ready for it. So the adapting to different styles and being ready, and you understand getting caught here and there. It's never going to be perfect, but you just want to keep pushing that hill down that big rock down the hill, and they seem to be getting there. But I'm never happy as
we're never happy.
Well, as a long-term Leaf fan, you're never happy.
Maybe,
but they seem to be better than
maybe keep.
Maybe I have to say two things. First, the most impressive thing looking back at the games over the last 30 games is Matthews. He has relied the majority of it on his career on something that no one other human being can do, which is off the rush, pulling a puck in tight and put it where Norman keeps his mama, and do it where no one even reacts because no one even thinks there's effort in it and it's coming like a bullet. He's scored a lot of dirty goals this year, and you can tell he's made it his mission to do that. And then every once in a while, when you think that's all he's going to do, and you say, hey, maybe his wrist is hurt, like he's not shooting as much, boom, he scores once, boom,
come on.
He just does it.
Yeah.
He's Matthews, I got to say, scoring as many goals as he had in the dirty areas this year is a good look for the Leafs. The bad look for the Leafs is at left wing, he wears number 20, and that's Nick Ritchie. I got to say, we did a great job in the offseason. The three of us touted this signing with Ritchie. We thought this was exactly what they needed. It's only $2.5 million. This is like a poor man's Foligno. He's gonna mix it up. He'll drop the gloves occasionally. He hasn't dropped the gloves once. Not once in 30 games. He's barely hit anyone in 30 games. He's scored once. He's the only thing I would change about the first 30 games.
If we need the three of us to attend a game for him to score, which is what happened, it's horrendous. Yeah, look, 3 out of 4 signings is great. But the one he missed on was the guy we paid the most money. And, it is – he's an anchor. It's tough. You're absolutely right.
It's tough. Mm-hmm. So let's get moving on here. We don't have games to recap. So when are we going to play again? We've got a game on the schedule in Columbus for the 27th. Are we going to play it? Kev, what do you think?
No, we're not playing. I don't think the NHL, once they start shutting games down, I don't think they'll start playing until the new year.
Okay, Coach?
Yeah, like my buddy Tracy Morgan here says, no, hell no. They got to sort out the border situation. So, Leafs won't go down there if they can't get back in, and vice versa.
Right.
So I think that'll get sorted out, but I don't think in time for this Columbus game.
Yeah. So we're all in agreement that probably games aren't going to be played until earliest is like January, but will they even be playing in January?
Look, I'm not ready to concede the full season here yet. I know we want to talk about are they going to contract or whatever. With them not going to the Olympics, we get some time in February, right? However, and they could always extend the season as well because there's nothing really stopping you from going into June. The problem is building availability. And so you look at that and you're like, all those buildings are booked. But what are they booked for? Concerts?
Yeah.
Who's going to see concerts?
Those will all get canceled too.
You can't go to see concerts anyway, right? So I'm hopeful that we can fit some games back in here. And it's tough that they're not going to the Olympics, but hey, for us, Devo, you've been talking about it all year. I'm not so sad that Matthews isn't.
I'm not sad at all. I think we had 4 or 5 guys that were going to go there and put themselves up for injury or potentially get locked in China for 5 weeks while you deal with some protocol. Katie, we don't play 82 games. What happens?
They'll pivot quickly to 50 or 60 games, I think, and work a play in. The blueprint's there; they've already done it. So they'll scramble, take a chunk out, put as many games as they can, keep it a round number. It'll be 50 or 60, and then they do the play in, and we'll go.
Thank you for not mentioning Columbus in that play in. Thank you.
Well, as long as we avoid Columbus and Montreal,
not kick me in the nuts by mentioning that Columbus.
All right, we're running close on time here, guys. So I want to hit the World Juniors up because that looks like it's going to go ahead. There's no travel involved. They can basically run it like a bubble. What are your thoughts on this one, Coach?
Well, I think they play. I got my Canada jersey up here. Canada's a heavy favorite in this one, guys. They always are, and they're in the good group. Like Russia, Sweden, and the U.S. are in the other group. So I think they play. I think Canada cruises through. But there's something to be said about being battle-tested. So I'm going to pick Russia to beat Canada for gold. Because Russia's goaltender plays in the KHL. He's got good numbers. So anyway, I just hope they play. Kev, I know you're the same way.
Kev, what do you think's going to happen?
I'm calling for a Canada win. Just this is a stacked team. Last year they were by far the best team lost in the final, but we're the class of the tourney, and I think they're bringing a bunch of those guys back. So I think they'll be okay. And their goaltending's good. They're very deep. Unfortunately, you can only play one of them, but I think they'll be fine.
Look, I'm excited to see Wright. The 17-year-old will be surrounded by veterans too. By the way, the whole team is coming back, and you got this 17-year-old phenom. So I'm excited to see what he's lighting it up for the Frontenacs. I think it'll be quite a tournament. I'm excited for it. It'll be nice to have some hockey. There you have it, folks. Like the video, hit subscribe. Listen, I know we know it's tough out there. Things are tough. It's crazy out there, but you know where it's not crazy? Right here, and we got your back. Right here in the OZone.